In today's tutorial, we're going to be making helm chain. There's an example here. This weave consists of two different sized jump rings. We have our larger bright aluminum rings, and we have smaller anodized aluminum rings, which are your colored rings, and in this case these are red. And this way here you get a good look at what the weave looks like. And next we'll take a look at how to make it. In your helm chain kit, you'll find all the parts you'll need to make the project that we're going to work on today. You'll have one bag with large bright aluminum rings. You'll have a bag with your colored anodized aluminum rings, which are your smaller rings. You'll have a clasp attachment set, which consists of your lobster clasp and two rings to attach. You'll have a twist tie, which we will use at the beginning of the weave for a handle. And also included is a paper clip, which if you take your paper clip and straighten out one end like so, and we can use this as a tool as we go to help organize our rings as we're working through the weave. You're also will be given a set of chainmail pliers to use for the purpose of this workshop. One is a flat nose pliers, and the other one is a chisel nose pliers. Okay. So today's workshop we're going to be working on helm chain. So here's an example of a completed helm chain bracelet. So this consists of the larger bright aluminum rings along with our smaller anodized aluminum rings, which are the colored rings in your kit. And we'll get started. Okay, to start our weave, we're going to take a large bright aluminum jump ring. You want to pre-close two of them, and when closing your ring you want it's a twisting motion, and you want to bring the two ends together. You'll probably hear it click, or you can feel them rub together, and you want to get a nice flush closure. You have those two rings closed. You take your twist tie and put those two rings on the twist tie, which we're going to use as a handle to hold those first two rings of our weave in place. So like so. So our next step is we'll want to, you can pre-open your rings if you want. This, I'm going to pre-open 3 of our anodized colored rings. Again, twisting motion. I use my dominant hand and turn it towards me, and my other hand I turn away from me. Get your rings open. So those rings are going to go through the two bright aluminum rings that we have on our twist tie. Like so. Close the ring. Again, twisting motion until the ends are flush. It's one. Two. And that's our third ring. And here's where you can use your paper clip to see where your work is at. So your work should look like this at this point. You get three anodized aluminum rings through your two large bright aluminum rings. So our next step, we're going to take a large bright aluminum ring and open it like so. Now this ring is going to go between the first two bright aluminum rings, like so, and then it's going to go around our three anodized aluminum rings. I'm going to pass the ring between the two bright aluminum rings, and you can see how that ring will just go around the your anodized aluminum rings or your colored rings, and then go ahead and close it. And it should look like this. Next, we're going to take another large bright aluminum ring, open it, and we're going to pass this ring through the three colored rings on one side of the last bright aluminum ring we had put in the weave. Like so. And close that ring. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side of the weave. Through colored rings and close that. And this is what your work should look like at this point. Now we're going to repeat the same thing with our colored rings again. I'm going to take three of our colored rings, and we're going to pass it through the two bright aluminum rings on the end of the weave. Close your ring. Repeat that 2 more times. Oops. This is where your work is at this point. I'm going to take a large bright aluminum ring, and again we're going to pass through or in between the last two bright aluminum rings in the weave and around the colored rings and close that. Now we put our bright aluminum rings on the through our colored rings, on one on each side of the weave. So through the three anodized aluminum rings, close that, and another one on the opposite side, like so. And this is where your work is at this point. And I'll go through the steps one more time. Take three of our colored rings, put those through the two bright aluminum rings on the end. So position this so you can see it. Take a large bright aluminum ring, and this one goes between the last two bright aluminum rings, like so, and around our colored rings, and close that. There. And then bright aluminum ring through our colored rings, one on one side and then one on the opposite side. So this is where your weave is at, and you keep continuing that pattern until you get to the length of the bracelet that you want to create. can go through it one more time if you like. So 3 colored rings through the 2 bright aluminum rings. So large bright aluminum ring between the last 2 bright aluminum rings and around our colored rings. And then we have a large bright aluminum rings, one through the 3 colored rings on one side, starting to work over, and one through the 3 colored rings on the opposite side. Close. So that's it. That's Helm chain. And like I said, just continue that same pattern until you reach the desired length of the bracelet that you want to create. Now when you reach the length that you want, you can remove your twist tie from your chain, and what I'm going to do is show you on this short piece how we connect our clasp attachment. So in your kit you'll have a small baggie with your lobster clasp, and then 2 smaller bright aluminum rings. So you take and open one of your smaller bright aluminum rings, pass that through the end of your weave, through 2 large bright aluminum rings, and before you close that, go ahead and take your lobster clasp and add that to that small ring, and then go ahead and close that ring. You have your clasp on the one side, and then on the opposite end of the weave, take your other small ring and put it through the 2 large bright aluminum rings on the other end of the weave, like so, and go ahead and close that up. So our example of the full finished piece here. And then our clasp attachment ring on the other end. There's your Helm chain bracelet.